let's talk about if you're a dental practice who is running Facebook ads to potentially get more booked appointments or fill your calendar. And it might be a case where you're not quite seeing the result that you want. I'm going to talk to you about what you need to be considering when you're advertising on Facebook and show you the disparity between Facebook and Google in terms of how to approach the ideal patient that you want to obviously book in for those high value cases that you offer. Now, I'm going to start with Google. So when you advertise on Google, we have to remember Google is a search engine. If you see on screen here, it says Facebook is a social platform, Google is a search engine. So when somebody is on Google, that means their buying intent is higher. So somebody's actively looking for a solution. So you can then put forward your offer, your best offer, and that person only needs the right, push to obviously get them to buy, because they know about their problem, they know about the solutions out there, and they obviously now are searching for the best dental practice to get their desired outcome or to transform their smile even. So the idea is, if somebody is searching on Google, that means their buying intent is higher and they're actually actively looking for a solution. So you should put forward your offer, and then obviously enough social proof or whatever it might be, or your best selling argument to push them over the edge to make the purchase and to commit to a booked appointment or whatnot. Conversely, let's go to Facebook. We have to remember, and this is key, Facebook is a social platform, meaning it's for entertainment and engagement. People are not actively on Facebook looking for a solution. And when it comes to the stages of awareness, meaning what does that person actually know about the treatment that you're advertising? What do they know about cosmetic dentistry and all of these things? We have to consider that. We don't know what people actually know and where they are in the buying journey. We don't know if they even know they have a problem. We don't even know if they actually want to fix that problem. We don't know if they know about the solutions out there, and we don't know if they actually are looking to solve that problem that you can solve. So when you're doing this, you have to think to yourself, this is how I best explain it. So when you're advertising on Facebook, you're advertising to strangers and you don't know what they know, which is important. You need to know what people know so you can actually give them something that they're going to be interested in, because people are inherently selfish. So if you don't provide something that they actually truly care about, they're just going to ignore you. So how I like to explain this is, think about the treatment that you're advertising. Think about if you was actually going door to door to sell this treatment. If you was knocking on people's door and trying to sell it, how would you engage that? For example, I've observed when I go on Facebook ad library, dental practices, they will say things like, oh, get your smile from our award-winning dental practice. Nobody cares about that. And going back to, if you was knocking on somebody's door, or if you was speaking to somebody face to face, you wouldn't start off with that. You would start off with the problem that they're facing, because deprivation is what drives motivation. If there's no pain, people are not motivated to fix anything, because that's human nature. We don't try to fix things. We stay in the status quo, and we don't change things if it doesn't need changing. So if you're running a Facebook ads, you can't start off with these abstract claims that people don't care about. You need to highlight something that they're trying to fix, something that's immediate, that's keeping them up at night. So think of how you would approach somebody face to face. You would try to figure out, are they interested in what I'm offering, and ask questions. But obviously you can't exactly do that. So you sort of have to frame what you're offering in a way online where it gets somebody to hold their hands up. So when you're writing your Facebook ads, instead of going forth and trying to get people to buy immediately, because I see a lot of dental practice do that, where they're putting offers and discounts and all of these things. And if you're talking to a stranger, they're not going to just buy from you straight away. Another thing you need to realize is that these treatments are high ticket treatments. They're upwards of £1,000. It isn't a impulsive buy. This is going to take high consideration. So if somebody is just scrolling and they're not actively looking for a solution, and they come across your ad and you've got an offer of, I don't know, £600 off Invisalign, and you say book now for a consultation, you don't know what that person knows. You don't know if they know the difference between having braces and Invisalign, or which one is better, or why Invisalign might be the better alternative to braces. You just don't know what that person knows, and what that causes is friction and resistance from them, because you're not meeting them where they're at in their head. Like the story they're playing in their head, you're not starting from there, and you must start from there, because if there's one thing about how the mind works, how we make decisions, we don't make decisions with new information. So any new information that doesn't align with the information or the experience that person hold in their schema, in their mind, they're just going to reject it. Our minds do not like new information. So if you don't know what that person knows when you're advertising on Facebook, then that's why your ads will get ignored. And that's why the 5 stages of awareness is important, where you have most aware, where somebody knows exactly what they want and they're just looking for the best practice to get that outcome from. You have solution aware, problem aware, and completely unaware. So when you're on Facebook, you're potentially talking to all of those people, or they fit in all 5 of those brackets. So that's why your messaging needs to be less about trying to get somebody to commit straight away, considering it's a high ticket purchase and it's going to take consideration. And rather than trying to sell an offer on Facebook, how about you make it smaller, make the ask, what you're trying to get them to do, smaller. So sell a conversation rather than the actual treatment. The treatment should be sold when the potential patient is in the dentist chair and he's doing the in-person consultation. That's when you do the consultation, and then you put forward a package and say, hey, this is what would be best for you. We also need to remember that people want to feel understood, and especially when they're going to be spending money, this isn't just them going to the grocery shop. This is an investment, and it's also something to do with their face. And anything that's like cosmetic, people are always going to have certain worries or false beliefs that needs to be dismissed or put at ease, so they know that the decision they're making is the right one. So it's about informing people and then letting people know, okay, this is the steps that you need to take, and this is what your desired result will look like or could look like. So to end, when you are advertising on Facebook, treat it as if you're talking to a stranger. How would you approach a stranger if you knocked on the door? You wouldn't instantly try to get them to buy. You try to figure out what they know, the outcome they want, and obviously based on what they say, then curate a offer for that person, so they feel that offer is made specifically for them. Conversely, if it's Google, it's okay, they have a high buying intent, so then you can provide a offer that's enticing to them, because they're actually actively searching out. So Facebook, people scrolling, it's a social platform. People are there to stalk their exes, like dog pics, share and like other feeds or whatnot, whatever people do on Facebook nowadays, I don't know. Or Google, where people are actively searching, they want a solution, and so then you can provide the offer. And that's the difference. When you do it like that, then you won't meet the disappointment where your ads will not get ignored, or even if you do get the engagement you want, it's not the high value patients that you want to attract to your practice, because when you try to go for the offer, you say £600 off and X, Y, and Z, you get people who are price sensitive, who are just trying to look for the cheapest deal. You don't want that. You should perform on value, not on price. If you provide good customer service, good value, you know you're a good dentist, and the procedure that you're doing is top notch, then charge what it's worth. Don't try to discount your thing, because if everyone's doing that, then you're not gonna stand out, basically, and you're just gonna get people who are tie kickers, who are time wasters, who want to pay the least amount of money as possible to get a desired result. But if you want to engage people who want quality, that means they don't mind paying for the high ticket treatment and pay what it's worth. Now, if you are, again, running your ads and you're not quite seeing the results, and you think you want a second opinion, you want a person to come in and look at your ads and do an audit, comment obvious in the comment section below, and I'll reach out to you, and then I can obviously go through your ads, and if it means that we have a conversation, then we'll do just that. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 stages of awareness and why it's important to always think of that when you're running ads, especially on Facebook. So that will be in my next video, so tune in. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.